Coming up on City Span, police merger talks get underway and funding questions get answered. It's cleanup time for blighted properties, or be prepared to pay the price. An exercise in preparedness, making the most of planning for the worst, and taking it to the streets. Thoughts on saving money and planning for the future. Stay tuned, City Span starts right now. Hello everyone, I'm Brett Bell. Welcome to City Span, your source for news and information about Savannah City government. First up, a downward trend that began in 1996 continued earlier this month when Savannah City Council voted to formally adopt a property tax rate for Savannah homeowners. The 12.48 millage rate Council adopted, which maintains the same rate as last year, marks the lowest property tax rate in Savannah since 1987. Over the past 2 decades, the City of Savannah has reduced its property rate by 29%, from a high of 17.46 mills in 1994 to 12.48 mills today. The reduction has been made possible through the creation of the Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, which has funded more than $300 million worth of capital improvements, half of which have been spent on drainage improvements.
Our goal has always been to keep our millage rate as low as possible. And it is definitely a testament to our staff and our departments for all that they're doing to keep it that way. They're cutting expenses, and it's good management. And our residents need to know that this is also a credit to them, as well as to this council and to the staff that we have here in Savannah.
The millage rate, combined with the assessed value of your property, is used to determine an individual's property tax bill. The Chatham County Assessor's Office reports that over the past year, the total digest of taxable property increased 3.2% in the City of Savannah. It's another sign of our strengthening economy. In this month, the City of Savannah and Chatham County officially began renegotiating the agreement that governs the Savannah-Chatham Metropolitan Police Department. The agreement, created in 2003, merged the then separate city and county police departments. The move was intended to enhance investigations and better align patrols that no longer have to worry about jurisdictional boundaries. And the merger appears to be working. Since the two forces combined operations in 2005, Part 1 crime has dropped 28% across the entire metro jurisdiction. This includes a 22% drop in the City of Savannah and a 50% drop in unincorporated Chatham County. Much of the focus of the renegotiations will be on the management of the force and the cost allocation between the city and county. Since the start of the merger, per capita police costs for City of Savannah residents have been 77% higher on average than costs paid by unincorporated Chatham County residents. Last year, each Savannah resident paid $328 for police services, while each unincorporated resident paid just $190 for police services.
The agreement calls for each jurisdiction's population to be analyzed, and then costs of certain departments to be allocated based strictly on a per capita basis. Examples of those departments allocated on population are the police chief, the investigations division, for example. Other departments are allocated based on the geography of the two jurisdictions. And that particular department is Patrol Division. So Patrol Division is the largest division and largest cost driver in the MPD, and it's allocated based on the geography of the beats. The beats within the city jurisdiction are allocated to the city, and the costs of those beats are paid by the city. The beats that are allocated, or the geography that's within the unincorporated area, is allocated to the residents within the unincorporated areas of Chatham County.
To learn more about Metro Police and how you can become involved in public safety, go to www.scmpd.org. Blight is an issue in most urban areas. It creates unsightly and unsafe conditions, drives down property values, and fosters crime. That's why the city has stepped up its efforts to reduce and eliminate blight through a marketing campaign in its 100 Worst Properties list. And for those property owners that don't get the message, a new ordinance will go before council this month that provides tax breaks to owners who redevelop their properties and stiff penalties for those who don't.
With the recession technically over, the city's turning its attention to some of its grimmer remnants, namely Blight. With its Blight to Bright campaign underway and its fourth annual 100 Worst Properties list slated for release soon, the city's ramping up efforts to cut back on a problem that not only is an eyesore, but drives down property values and costs the city money. And you can soon expect the latest weapon in the arsenal, the Blight tax. Officially known as the Redevelopment Tax Incentive Ordinance, it will drive an owner's property taxes as high as 7 times the normal rate if found to be in violation. Assistant City Manager for Utilities and Construction, Pete Shonka, said that should the new ordinance get the nod from the City Council in August, it will provide incentives to develop vacant properties and penalties for non-compliance.
It's both a carrot and a stick type ordinance. First of all, they don't want to pay the higher tax rate, I'm sure, but then they can pay even a lower tax rate if they're investing in redeveloping the property. And their millage rate can be decreased by 50% for a period of, I think it's 4 years. And so that provides them, again, even more incentive.
The reasoning behind the ordinance is simple: to spur redevelopment of properties that cost the city and taxpayers money. Issues such as infestation, public health, and crime add up to more time and money the city spends on policing. Shonka said a number of factors will be considered when issuing citations for non-compliance, such as public health and safety. Owners will have the right to appeal decisions in court. Abandoned and vacant properties have long been an issue in a city with high poverty, old housing stock, and high absentee ownership. And while the new ordinance isn't expected to solve all these problems, it gives the city another tool to leverage cooperation. Shonka said the ordinance will be presented to the City Council for consideration sometime in August. Reporting for CitySpan, I'm Jody Jenkins.
Coming up on CitySpan, an award-winning childcare facility, thanks to help from the SBAC. And later, learning about the past, if maps and postcards could talk. While it's been relatively quiet, hurricane season is upon us, and city officials have been busy walking through operating procedures, working out any kinks in the system in the event a storm heads our way. The hope is that things will go smoothly if and when an evacuation becomes necessary.
A Category 1 hurricane is bearing down on the southeast coast. 24 to 48 hours out with sustained winds between 74 and 95 miles an hour. The warm waters of the Gulf Stream could quickly boost it to a Category 2.
I've just completed a briefing and have been advised we are at OPCON 2. Please initiate all activities that are required at OPCON 2 at this time.
OPCON 2. Officials speak for a bad situation getting worse, which kicks city government into high gear. The last level before a full evacuation. All non-essential personnel out of the city, locking down and getting ready to ride out what by all accounts will be a powerful storm. This drill by the city's Economic Development Bureau is designed to concentrate the city's mind on all the minutiae of a real-world event, should a hurricane actually make landfall this season.
In 1999 for Hurricane Floyd, how many of you were here? Okay.
Hurricane Floyd was then the largest peacetime evacuation in U.S. history, and a prime example of how it shouldn't be done. And for Taffney Young, director of the Community and Economic Development Bureau for the City of Savannah, it provided clear lessons about preparedness. And that's what the exercise at the Civic Center in July was all about.
I think that a lot of times when we do emergency planning, it happens at the 30,000 foot level, and so everybody else that's in the departments, all the staff, they never really hear or understand their role and how critical it is. Well, I was here during the last evacuation, and it was interesting to see how quickly when that occurred, we were all racing around to try to find our operating procedures. And what that told me then was that we didn't know them. And so today's exercise is really making sure that people walk through every OPCON level and they know personally what their role is, not just on a theory level, but am I the person that's responsible for boxing equipment? And I the person that's going to walk through the building and lock it at the end of the day? Who do I give those keys to? Who do I give vital information to? Those types of things are things that I think the last storm, which has been many years ago at this point, that we weren't quite ready for. And so today is really about, I want to make sure that the Community and Economic Development Bureau is really clear on those roles. And so if they don't have those answers, we're going to get those answers today.
Getting answers and driving home the reality that the last thing you want in the face of a major storm is confusion. Reporting for CitySpan, I'm Jody Jenkins.
In 2008, the City of Savannah launched its Thrive initiative, aimed at reducing city government's environmental footprint by using research, education, and implementation to conserve natural and financial resources in city operations. And now the city has hired its first Environmental Services and Sustainability Director. Nick Deffley takes on the responsibility for developing, implementing, and monitoring the city's sustainability efforts.
Essentially, I'm going to be working on first looking at city operations and what ways we can improve efficiencies, whether it's energy efficiency, how much water the community uses, and kind of education outreach on that. Fleet services, we'll be looking at efficiencies there, maybe looking into alternative fuel vehicles or electric vehicles. Waste management, just all those different operations that the city has, the building and built environment, and how we can make those more energy efficient. We're going to be looking at all of those different pieces, doing a greenhouse gas inventory, so saying all the different greenhouse gas emissions that through our operations we emit each year, and try and figure out ways to reduce that. And then the second piece is really, for me, the best part is really engaging with the community and working with them to not only tell the story of what Savannah is doing around sustainability issues, but also get them involved in it and engaged in it, and just be aware of the different sustainability topics that are out there, whether it's how they use their water, creating an urban garden, transportation issues. Maybe they can start bicycling to work, and it impacts not only the environment, but it also impacts their health. I also think just being in Savannah and the historic district we have here, I mean, we're in a great city that is already kind of fundamentally somewhat sustainable. You know, we've had old established buildings that have been here for a long time, and some of the most sustainable buildings are the ones that have always just been there, that we maintain. And being able to pair that historic preservation and honor the culture here of Savannah, but also bring in some more energy efficiencies and ways for them to be more sustainable is what I'm looking to do.
The Small Business Assistance Corporation provides business loans, counseling, training, and more to small business owners in Savannah and the Lowcountry. Each month on CitySpan, we highlight a local business that has benefited from those services. SBAC's Leandria Michael has more.
This month, we're featuring Renee's Kids World 2, a local child care facility where the mission is helping our children excel. Owner Harriet Williams brings a non-conventional approach to child care, citing the importance of individualized education and development. This award-winning child care facility is an expansion of Renee's Kids World 1, which first opened in 1996. And as the demand grew and Harriet decided to open a second location, she went to the Small Business Resource Center.
We started out with 6 children. Within an 8-month period, we expanded to 12 children. And soon after that, we saw a need to expand to 24 hours to accommodate more families. Eventually, we ended up with about 18 children. And soon we outgrew that. And we started looking for a building. We found this one, and this building will accommodate 126 children. We moved over here with the 16 children that we had, and at this point we are at 98 children, and 6 will be coming Monday. We serve families with children from birth to 12 years old. We do before and after school care and drop-in care. We have surveillance, 24-hour surveillance. Online viewing is what we offer our parents if they're at work or home and they decide they want to just look in on their little ones. They can put in a password and actually check on their children. We have secured interest. You have to have a code to get in or a keypad that we give you to swipe across the keypad. We have the check-in service that we just added. Instead of the manually handwriting sign in and out, you just check in with a fingerprint. Yeah, and you can also make payments on the same kiosk. So we're making it as convenient as we can for our parents to come in and go out as quickly as possible to get to work. After trying several banking institutions in the area and being turned down, we were almost through with our project here, and we needed just a few more dollars to finish. We went to SBAC, and they came to our rescue. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to open up in January. It would have took a few more months, you know, but they came through, and we really appreciate them for it. It was easy. It was a few documents we had to submit, but the process was quick. It was less than 30 days, and we were able to purchase everything we needed to open the building. I would recommend SBAC to others because they are proficient. They came through for me, and I know they'll come through for them.
Harriet turned her passion into a business and utilized SBAC to help along the way. The partnership helped create local jobs and provide high-quality childcare for a growing community base. If you're in need of a small business loan, visit the SBAC, where you'll find personalized assistance and expertise to help you excel in your business. Visit SBAC in the Small Business Resource Center at 111 East Liberty Street, or check us out online at sbacsav.com. Reporting for the Small Business Assistance Corporation, I'm Leandra Michael.
Each month on CitySpan, we team up with the folks at Bank on Savannah, an initiative of Step Up Savannah, to provide you with easy tips to help you make the most of your money. With more, here's Richard Reeve from the Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Savannah.
Today we're hitting the streets to find out what people in Savannah think about saving money. How much do you think the average American household has in savings?
I would say not much. Less than 100 probably. Hopefully 1,000, but that's really hard.
I'd say more like 3,000. Not much.
Less than $1,000.
500. 15,000.
Do you want to know what the right answer is? It's $3,800. So well below that, $3,800. So this question, what percentage of American households have no savings at all?
40%? Probably 65%.
At least 50%.
That's what I was. 50. Yeah, 50.
I'm thinking about 30.
70 plus. I'd say 25%.
Okay.
I'd say 10%.
Good. You want to know the right answer is? Sure. 28%. You are on a roll. All right. So how many months worth of living expenses is ideal to have in savings?
At least 2 months.
6 months. I agree with her.
3. 6.
6.
8.
8. 6 is exactly right. All right. But 8's even better, right? Why do you think Americans have such a hard time saving money?
I think they just don't know how. I think sometimes life gets in the way of saving sometimes.
Too much eating.
Because of consumerism, I guess. So many fun things to buy.
Not holding or not really having a budget.
What is a tip you would have for Americans or anyone to increase their savings?
Not going overboard, and when you're going to buy something, think till the next day before you buy it, because you might not want to buy it.
Very nice.
Just, be reasonable and sensible.
I guess look where you're spending unnecessarily and then try to cut back where you can maybe use that money somewhere else. Think about a purchase before you buy it.
A budget will save you a lot of trouble and help you plan what you need to do and what you want to do for future endeavors. That's what I do.
But the key is to stick to the budget.
Yes.
It's okay to make a budget, but you've got to stick to the budget.
All right, so what is your financial goal?
To own a house one day.
Well, just to live comfortably, not to have to worry and have like I can have some luxuries and not worry.
My financial goal is to have enough savings for me to actually go back to school.
I like to have enough money to pay off my debts from college and then also to save money.
My financial goals is just to live and be happy and have fun with my kids.
No amount of savings is too small. You have to start somewhere. $5. Matter of fact, we're teaching our grandchildren about saving. $5, but just start somewhere and stick to it.
Did today's questions get you thinking about saving money? Savings can help you reach any of your financial goals. Whether it's retiring or buying a house, you can get there by saving money. Until next time, I'm Richard Reeve, and you can bank on this.
Still to come on CitySpan, celebrating the end of summer, it's all fun and games. And later, preserving public access, Savannah's jewel on the south side. The City of Savannah's collection of historical documents has grown, thanks to the generosity of one Savannah resident. Last month, city staff and Mayor Edna Jackson joined local historian John Duncan to accept his donation of his entire collection of Savannah postcards to the city. The donation comes just as the city prepares to celebrate the 225th anniversary of city government.
Earlier this year, we contacted Mr. Duncan about using some of the postcards from his personal collection as we prepare to celebrate the city government's 225th anniversary, which is going to be in December on the 23rd. Not only was he more than willing to share his collection, but he actually encouraged us to do more.
More includes a City Hall exhibit displaying maps and prints from Duncan's personal collection, tracing Savannah's growth through the 18th and 19th centuries. It also includes making the more than 2,000 postcards available in digital format.
They depict everything from Savannah's parks and squares, our historic streets, our public buildings, residences, and it's a wonderful collection to see Savannah in images through the 1870s up through the 20th century. The collection is now fully available for research in the library and archives, and we have provided 352 of those images on our new digital images catalog, which will allow the public to search our digital collections and have access to imagery that we haven't been able to provide before. And this is really exciting for us. We're always looking for new ways to increase public access to the city's historical collections. And Mr. Duncan's wonderful postcard collection is our very first collection to launch on that.
I've enjoyed collecting maps and prints and books and manuscripts and postcards. And I'm so pleased that the city has been willing to archive them and share them with the public. We can learn about the past, but we can also learn about the present and the future, I must say.
As they say, if the walls could talk, if these maps could talk, can you imagine what they would be saying?
The collection of maps, which trace Savannah's development from the days of Oglethorpe through the 1890s, will be on display in the City Hall Rotunda through the end of the year. They are on loan from Virginia and John Duncan's V&J Duncan Antique Maps and Prints as part of the ongoing celebration of Savannah City Government's 225th anniversary. The new digital image catalog is accessible at www.savannahga.gov/digital collections. For more information, contact Luciana Spraker, Research Library and Municipal Archives Director, at 912-651-6411. Recreation Services held its annual field day last month at Daffin Park. And for hundreds of participants, it's the culmination of a summer's worth of fun, games, and fitness, and some friendly competition too.
In the end, the entire summer boils down to this one event. The tug of war, and it's a battle of the wheels and a battle of the sexes, girls versus boys, and invariably, pride and a lot of good humor are on the line. In each age category, the scene is repeated again and again. And the fairer sex almost always seems to come out on top in the ultimate test of strength. The Recreational Field Day is the high point of Savannah's summer recreational program.
Good morning! How are you?
500 kids from around the city join in for fun and games with everything from hula hoops, sack races and volleyball, to jumping rope, flag football, and frisbee. The annual Recreation Services Field Day event is part of the summer supervised programs across the city, promoting outdoor activities throughout the summer and healthy lifestyles that include lots of exercise to improve the quality of life for all kids in Savannah.
This is the highlight of the summer program for our supervised playgrounds because everybody is here that was part of the program. It's a daily program that can go every day, and in addition to doing all the activities, they participate in the summer lunch program. So yes, this is a very important part of their day during the summer.
And it's a great way to work out all that pent-up energy in the run-up to the start of another school year. Reporting for City Span, I'm Alicia Scott.
It wasn't exactly Michael Jackson doing a toe spin on the dance floor, but it was bad. For robots, that is.
In July, an all-girl team put on a robotics dance show in the gym at Durin Middle School in Savannah. They were showing off moves they learned as programmers in a 6-week summer robotics camp taught by the Society of Women Engineers, and it got everybody on their feet.
We decided that we wanted to get girls into robotics and decided how could we get them interested into robotics and then take the creative side of it and also get them into the arts. So we decided to do a dance robot team, and this was our first year at attempting to see if it was possible, to get all of the details together.
12 girls programmed, created, decorated, and tested the robots, fine-tuning their routine with an eye towards the final grand showcase in the gym. The 6-week program gave the girls hands-on experience in learning codes and the basics that make up computer programming. While the means were fun, the ends were serious.
I just love to invent things. That's one thing. And two is my mom told me that it was very good to have the extra knowledge because a lot of people don't have the ability to program. And so it is very good to program.
I want to learn how to program. It's a cool and new thing. And it's a lot of jobs and stuff out there that do a lot of programming and stuff. And you can, make a lot of money off of technology and all that.
The camp was made possible by a Weaver Dream grant from the City of Savannah's Department of Cultural Affairs. And judging from the response by parents and students alike, there'll be more summer robotic camps to come. Reporting for City Span, I'm Maren Seals.
And finally on City Span, Savannah marked a milestone this month with the opening of the redeveloped Coffee Bluff Marina on the city's south side. It's the first public-owned marina in the city, and it provides access to deep water along the scenic Forest River. It's also a project that's been near and dear to 6th District Alderman Tony Thomas.
What we have here is a jewel of the park system in Savannah, and I'm proud that it's in District 6. I'm proud that it's here on the Forest River, and I will tell you, the sunset sets right over here every day. One of the most beautiful sunsets in Savannah, and during the seasons, the skies change colors and all. It's beautiful down here. It's a painting any day of the week you want it to come down and take a look. You can see behind me, we've got some just a wonderful improvement here that's going to offer just a vast array of opportunities for people to come down and enjoy the water, whether they want to get in it or not. So we're real excited Oh, wow. You should have seen the size of that fish.
I saw the splash.
I mean, that was at least a 4 or 5 foot fish. Oh, wow. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. That was great. Yeah. You got playgrounds for the kids, you got a fishing pier, an observation deck, you got a kayak launch, you got a hoist for the boats, you got slips for people that want us to keep their boats down here monthly. You got picnic area, picnic tables, benches. So it is a complete park and marina together. Now, the operator is also going to run excursions to Ossabaw, Wausau, and other fishing charter opportunities. So it's going to really open the door for a lot of folks that would not have had this opportunity before to come down here and, as I said earlier, enjoy the water and the fish bouncing behind me, either on land or off.
That's going to do it for this edition of CitySpan. Don't forget, for the latest news and information about the City of Savannah, keep it tuned to SGTV. Visit our website at savannahga.gov or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, I'm Brett Bell. Thanks for watching, and thanks for making Savannah your home.